Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League. I'm TobiWan.
And I'm the capitalist.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Guys with opposable thumbs. We are here to bring you our second game in the best-of-5 series from the quarterfinal single elimination bracket of the Dota 2 Champions League. NaVi going up against a team, Sigma. And so far, man, NaVi looking pretty damn strong.
You're absolutely right. NaVi just kind of crushed that game, to be honest. I mean, going from the draft, I didn't feel that NaVi necessarily had a stronger draft, but it was a very clear path of what they were going to do. Sigma, they're a little bit more interesting when it comes to their drafting style, and you know, that kind of draft forces you to engage fast and furious style. Like, you just have to go for those team fights and win every single one of them consistently in order to be able to take out a team like that going up against NaVi. NaVi had fine mid-game, and they also had really good late game. So you couldn't go too late, and mid-game was a toss-up. So you really had to get those rotations off, and unfortunately NaVi experienced enough team to recognize that, and they picked their battles very, very well.
Surprisingly, what they've picked here, I don't know if you can class it as very, very well, is it's Cap's getting used to his new microphone, as I think he's now realizing the cable can drag down his back.
Falling down my face.
Because you gotta get used to the new studio, man. You gotta like find, like, you know, like you sit in the couch and you gotta have like that arse groove that just like it's like perfectly shaped. So that's all about. It's like no one uses this chair of mine. This is like my chair. Yeah. Yeah.
Your ass groove, very nice. Now I've seen it all. Now I've seen Toby's ass groove.
It's the perks of the studio. Like one day when Join Dota becomes like in the history books of esports, you like be walking through and like, this is the chair and this is the imprint of the buttocks.
So instead of like the Hollywood stars, like the handprints and that sort of thing, it's gonna be the casters and the ass prints. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what are you gonna use? Like, oh, your handprints is like, well, this is his finger marks from where he had that Sunday on, like, or all of a sudden he managed to carve a groove with just his fingers into the mouse. Yeah. Yeah. It's like on cricket bats. You get like that cherry, the sweet spot kind of thing. Like
Toby.
He's like hit it. And it's like you obviously get like this big red lump.
Toby, please.
But it's you know it's a proper technical term. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing sus. We're talking about cherries.
Once again, you bring up cricket terms.
Yes, I
don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry. How about we do an NFL player with a dint in his helmet? Is that a little bit better for you?
That works.
That works
for
that
me.
works.
Sure.
All right, fantastic, beautiful. Now we have a Nov. We have a Nov coming in. So Luna being picked up with a Crystal Maiden. This kind of has potential for everything. I just kind of like when Lifestealer got through, I was like, wow, some weird pickups. Like, why did NaVi let that one through? But at the same time, you realize the downside about Lifesteal. He has to get in close before he can do some damage. Then he can life leech it out. And getting in close to a Luna with her change up to Glaives is a very hard thing to do without losing a lot of life points before you get in there. And then you're also going to have to buff up with the aura that can give Crystal Maiden some early harassment damage as well as maybe plus a Visage or something along these lines. It runs the potential for NaVi to have an aggressive tri-line, especially if Sigma gets really greedy and pick up a Chen or an Enchantress. It's probably the reason why you don't see Puppy banned out in the early stages. He takes out LOA, and he takes out Bane. He takes out the two initiate pluggers, like the guys who stop any kind of initiation.
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm still okay with Sigma's draft, though. I have to say, I think that Lifestealer, one of the big things about Luna is that she's able to she's one of the real hard carries that among the league of hard carries. You're talking about Luna is one of them, and she's still able to operate in the mid game very, very well because of her ultimate, and that's something that Lifestealer is going to be able to work around pretty easily. I mean, being able to just rage up and run it, Luna. Late game, obviously, you're absolutely right. Glaives is going to be a problem, but I think we're going to look at a very mid-game oriented draft once again from Sigma, but Lifestealer I think has a little bit, I mean, as opposed to a Mirana, Lifestealer I feel has a little bit more ganking potential with Infest, being able to jump in as long as you've got some sort of hero, which I'm sure they're going to pick up something like a Puck. You have that instant initiation on Luna to be able to get that sort of instant grab, and then on top of that, they just need a little bit of push, and I'm good with this. I think Lifestealer is able to go in a late game a lot better than Mirana. So, sorry, distracting me with that that picture of me and you at the desk. But something else to say. Toby, you're gonna hate me for this, but it looks like this.
I hate you.
This is how the draft.
I hate you, Cat. Get back to America.
This is how the draft is gonna work out. Apparently, it's gonna be the beautiful ladies, Crystal Maiden and Luna, two of the most beautiful.
Yeah,
in the pool. I know that's an insult to your Drow Ranger.
No.
But
It's possible to run both lovely ladies in the draft because then you go Drow on the safe lane, Luna on the solo mid.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Versus the ugly monsters, two of the ugliest and scariest of the heroes to look at. Look at that, the new Venomancer.
It's like one actually has like the over-exaggerated jawbone, and the other one decided that in the evolution process, a jawbone wasn't required.
Yeah, pretty much. He was going to go full, like, aliens on it.
He just looked kind of cute, though, at the same time. Like, it's intimidating, ugly cuteness. Like, I don't know if you can, like, combine the three of them, but that's what Venomancer is.
You're the kind of guy who has, like, a pet tarantula. And
no, I got snakes in my house, man. I got snakes in my house.
The snakes in your house are clearly rubbing off, because that is not ugly cuteness right there. That is just terrifying death.
If people ever like worked out from my Facebook posts as well as a couple of my Twitter posts, which you can find over at TobiWan Dota, I really like cats, and I want a cat. My housemate won't let me have a cat, so I feel very, very sad about this.
I had to leave my cat behind. Tears were shed. Not really. But
you could bring him with you. I'll take him.
You know how much it costs to ship an animal over to no, that's not happening. Yeah, that cat is not worth $2,000, all right?
I remember when I looked into shipping my stuff over from Australia, and I wanted to bring my massive like canvas-sized Drow Ranger poster, and it turns out I had to actually get a shipping crate in order to bring stuff over. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a cheap process. So I ended up coming with one suitcase worth of stuff to Germany. I bought
one? Oh, man.
Yeah, I bought everything else when I got here.
I came with
so
two.
I sold almost everything I had. Looks like Sigma is doing, well, exactly what I thought they were going to do, which I'm very, very concerned about. They have a Chen into their lineup, so they're going to get really greedy up against a lineup with a Timbersaw. So Timbersaw's already pretty hard to kill off as it is, especially up against a hero like a Venomancer. Like, he doesn't really care. It's like Timber Chain, woot, I win.
And Lifestealer.
And Lifestealer, like, yeah, open wounds. Who cares when you have Timber Chain? He's a really great hero for an escape mechanism, but I'm still not seeing Navi backing off from going aggressive tri-lane here. Enchantress, for me, in my mind, always wins out in the early stages of the game up against a Chen. Just because Enchantress is just such a more powerful ability. And what does Chen bring as a second ability? Like we even saw it during D2CL, where Poppy's like, okay, let's go 5-man, and I level up heal before we even start, just so people can survive during the fight. And then you have, like, a Chen first level, you have heal second level, and then Chen's like, well, I can throw a small nuke, which actually cost me almost my entire mana pool to do so. Yeah, no. I prefer not to sign up to that party. Not if I have an Enchantress to play with.
Normally, I would say that would be a little bit too risky for Na'Vi, but with a Timbersaw pickup, I think that might be possible if they go for another mid here and go for like safe lane Timbersaw. Timbersaw is really a hero that is very, very dependent on his laning farm if he is going to be safe lane, and so he can pick up those early levels, that early gold, start working his way towards a very, very fast Bloodstone, and control the mid game enough that Luna's going to be able to pick up a lot of farm, and she'll join them. She'll join them in some team fights every once in a while, being able to use that Eclipse. When it's on cooldown, though, just farm and let Timbersaw give you room. But now, Sigma, I like this, though. First of all, the Chen pickup gives them a little bit push. Even going up against Enchantress, it's still all right. And now they've got the initiation of Clockwork, beautiful for Lifestealer, and I was expecting a mid, something like a Puck that would give you more initiation with Lifestealer, but I like this much, much better. This gives you a lot more push and some really good team fight. You've got just pretty much tanking up. That being said, it's not the greatest versus Timbersaw, but it is really good versus Luna. They've got two good carries that are extremely good against her in the mid game.
Yeah. Puppy, you know what? I only have one prayer right now. It's an active, moving mid. The only thing I care about right now for Dendy. It's the only thing I care about. I got a funny feeling, too, that Puppy's tossing up, running the Timbersaw in the mid. Hey! Ganking, moving, active mid. Dendy's Queen of Pain. Denny's Queen of Pain. Not a hero that really wins out against the DK in the lane, but it's something which, when the rotation comes in from Enchantress and Crystal Maiden, you're going to need that burst damage to pick him off. I remember I did the lecture. You know how you do the lecture during the panel, and I also did a little bit of it last night, where it literally just comes down to how you approach your middle lane, and the easiest way to win the middle lane is smoke rotation. With Enchantress, Crystal Maiden, you can see this come up as early as, well, a minute to a minute and a half is normally the timer mark I give to that. And with Sigma, with a Chen, it'll take 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes before you'll start to see that gank in the middle lane, which means Observers, sentries must go together on the lane.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so easy with that triple slow going up against a melee hero who obviously is going to have poor positioning because he's melee in order to pick up that CS. And then on top of that, no escape mechanism, very, very easy ganks. On top of that, Queen of Pain, Dragon Knight is not a hero that moves out of his mid a whole lot. He's one of the more stationary mids that you're going to pick up. Does not, if he picks up a great rune, something like a haste, yeah, sure, absolutely, go for that gank and then push down a tower and then go back to middle. But for the most part, in that 6 to 8 minute mark where a lot of mids rotate out, Dragon Knight is one of the few who's going to sit there. He's going to continue his farm, and instead he pressures the tier 1. Queen of Pain is going to be able to make up for that fact, and she has really good rotations about that time. And look for that tri lane to see some aggression.
Let's have a fight. Gale time. Throw it out there, pass. The Nova actually hits on 4 heroes, and Funnick whirling dead pass. Look at his life points. They just disintegrate. Sting was the first thing that Denny leveled up, and now they're going to go in deeper. Whirling Death comes off cooldown in 1 second time. There's a quick Dragon Tail start over towards Funnick. We've got one more Nova off cooldown right now for Kuro, who almost kills off fucking man with it. 59 life points. Now Kuro too close in range to the tier 1 tower. They need some space right now. They're going to lose Kuro. The cogs actually burn him off from Miguel. The attack from Pup will not be enough to pick off Miguel. So Kuro's a little bit of an overextension coming out with that Crystal Maiden, chasing something which almost was his, but it makes it a 1-1 trade.
Yeah, I mean, forcing a fight like that, Sigma just Poss getting way too close. I mean, when you're getting in range of a Timbersaw at level 1, he's got Whirling Death. There's something wrong with that fight. On top of them, they don't have any good level 1 team fight. Like, they really don't. You're looking at Chen, who does nothing. Venomancer, who, while Gale is good, doesn't do any damage. So if you're getting a slow and you're chasing heroes, sure, that's great. But a full-on team fight where teams are ready to fight you, and actually, Venomancer's not going to do anything either. You add in a couple melees who don't have any sort of nukes, there's no way you're going to be able to win any sort of team fight. So when you saw those heroes, they really should have just backed off, played it safe. But they're going to pay for it, and now Navi's aggro try that you were talking about is off to a great start. You've got 2 really good junglers in Crystal Maiden and Enchantress. They're going to be able to take that jungle, wrestle it away from Chen fairly easily, and then on top of that, just put some heavy aggression on the Lifestealer whenever they want.
Yeah, and this is going to be a hard time for a Lifestealer, especially before he gets level 6. Then the Enchantress kind of works for the Lifestealer. But for me, the bigger problem is what Dendi actually poses now in this middle lane. Because even though it was a 1-1 trade, it was Dendi who got the first blood. And while he got the first blood, the bottle is now coming out. And it's a very, very early bottle for Dendi, which means 100% that 2-minute rune is going to belong to him. Fader's already being harassed down quite heavily with just this poison sting. And actually, Fader's locked in here. Then he can finish him off right now. If he could attack and then blink and then one more hit. But I think he's hoping that poison sting will tick him out. It's not enough, though. It drops him down to 22 life points, but the Tango charge keeps him alive.
That was surprising restraint from Dendi. It was questionable whether or not the poison, I mean, just looking at it and making that instant judgment, whether or not it was actually going to kill. But he easily could have picked up the kill. The thing was, I think he was a little bit afraid of Mad being there with the troll and trading kills there. And Dendi knows he's already so far ahead with that early bottle pickup. And like you said, he's kind of guaranteeing himself.
Oh, Puppy. Just lost his troll trap.
Yeah.
Luckily for him, though, he uses the trap before it gets converted, so he can't have the trap used against him.
Nice. Dendi going top with the haste rune. Again, he knows he's already winning that mid. If he dies, he wouldn't be able to get that rune. Right, now he's getting a gank somewhere else.
He's got him. Just a quick sting. One more attack in. Oh, is he going to try for this? No, he's just going to zone him out. But it still means that Timbersaw, I'd say he gets a little bit more space up in the top lane. He doesn't win it. Like, it's a 6-1 up against a 9-for-5 right now. Dendi wanted to get back in towards the middle lane. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't get the sting off in time. But I don't think he really cares right now. Puppy stoked up a little bit of the experience while he was gone.
Yeah, the one unfortunate thing about running this aggressive try, while you are getting great experience on Funnick, Clockwork versus Timbersaw because of his ability to spam out, and then even later on, with the recent change of these Timber Chain being canceled by stuns, it means Clockwork is actually an extremely good hero versus Timbersaw, even though he is strength, because Cogs early on, he burns all of his mana, and then later on, he's able to actually keep Funnick inside of those Cogs most of the time. He may actually get out a little bit outside of the Cogs occasionally with Timber Chain, but for the most part, he's going to be able to stop that mobility really, really well with Battery Assault.
This DK, Fader is having possibly the roughest time in the world. Dendi is just doing this time and time again. Blink, Scream, Sting. Tick him down. It means he has to walk back to base right now. The bottle's coming back out again, but it's forever with no bottle, or if he does have the bottle, it's an empty bottle. And Denny with his blink movement, DK can't keep up with that, especially if he's going to get stinged every 30 seconds or so. And then he's like, oh, well, I'll move up to the rune right now. Wait, no, I can't. I have no movement speed. Like, it's really rough time. So Mad's coming down with the smoke gang. He's coming in with the Hellbear, which is quite visible. Didn't stick around for the rune, but it's because they want to try and kill a Vorst here on the bottom lane. So Puppy's in the neighborhood. He sees the Hellbear. Sorry, Kura's in the neighborhood. I just see a Crystal Man and think Puppy. And actually, nice Frostbite. So keeps it away. The Gale will connect, but as you said, level 1 Gale does no damage whatsoever.
Really smart. Not only does he pick up the experience in gold, but also kept that Hellbear completely away from Havos. That was a really smart idea, and a lot more time lost for Chen. I mean, he was already started off with a really poor jungle, but now having bad rotations as well. This is a terrible start out for Chen, and it's only going to get worse from here on out because you don't have easy heroes to gank. Like, the aggressive Tri lane was supposed to be your easy kill, and he didn't get that. Like, his gank was completely a fail. And
DD rune going to trigger off, and then the Centaurs just run after it. Enchant as well to make sure the Centaurs can get themselves in range, but they don't even need to get their stomps off. They were just trying to be there for the tank, but then Chen Sada will blast Denny down a little bit, but then Denny's bottle will rise back in again, and we're another minute away before he gets another rune. This is just that level of control, and which you never want to see on a player like Dandy, because you know just how he's going to take this into the mid game. It's going to be with the murder of everybody on the opposition.
Yeah, and it all comes back down to that early bottle. If Dragonite picks up his bottle about the same time as Queen of Pain, usually because he's melee, he's able to spam out some early breathe fires in order to pick up some CS as well. Usually he picks up his bottle around the same time as Quap. Even if he's only 30 seconds behind, is still okay with lane with him. But because of the second level in Poison Sting and the early bottle from Dendy, he was able to spam Fada out so much faster than he normally would. And even once he was able to pick up the bottle on Dragonite, he never made a full recovery. So this lane just is going to get worse and worse. Look at him. Level 6 Queen of Pain versus just now turning. He was level 3 Dragonite.
Havos is in trouble. He's going to TP himself out this one. They don't have a stun. Like, this whole bottom lane does not have a stun. So he TP'd all the way back to base, where he leaves Kuro as well as Puppy by themselves. And Frostbite obviously does not control a live Scylla who still has Rage. He just breaks free with that Q. And just easy pick up on a Crystal Maiden. But I suppose as long as the Vorst lives, it might be worth it. But Funnick should rotate out of this lane right now. He has completely won this against Miguel. Like, it's now a full level in front. Even if he gets his mana burned off, he's still 34 for 10 up against a 23 for 5 on the CS. He has completely dragged that lane back again.
Yeah, this is really smart. He picked up a bottle of his own. He knew he wasn't going to be able to farm up fast enough in order to get mana boots in the time that he needed it. Once his mana was fully burned, he was able to pick up a bottle, rotate that over to him, and then he was able to use that mana to kind of push Clockwork out of lane. On top of that, that one level 2 Poison Sting actually did a lot of work for him. It put Miguel on the defensive for quite a while and forced him to use a little bit of his regen. That actually hurt Miguel's lane quite a bit. That one simple rotation, Poison Sting and an auto attack was good enough to really put Timbersaw way ahead. But they're going to go for an early rotation here, and I think this is smart. They've already got the Infest inside of Clockwork. They know they need to shut down these heroes on top. Yeah,
but he needs to make sure he hits this hook shot. With the level 4 Vorst, there's hook shot in, he got it. Cox will come up, even though he did it the range creep. The Chakram's going to fly in. That's a lot of damage to Miguel. Fade is in here as well. This Whirling Death, he's going to pull the Chakram back in again. And now with the Whirling Death, Timber Chain down. He's got it back off cooldown. Picks up Miguel. Almost picks off Soshka with that as well. And in comes, well, what's this courier? Flying into boots. Oh, he didn't latch it. With the reactive armor up to 8 charges, he had to bail himself out of that one, just out of pure fear. But it becomes a 1-for-1 trade. And Voss is like, screw this. I go back to the lane, which I was at least fighting CS in. Down the bottom lane up to level 5.
Yeah, against 3 strength melee heroes who are all auto-attacking you, that's like the worst position ever against a Timbersaw. Timber's like, I'm getting more armor, I'm getting more regen, you're not really doing much to me, and once I'm done with this disable, you're just going to get destroyed by Whirling Death. But yeah, Mad, he's a little low from Poison Sting, and Dendy, again, one of those situations where if he wants to, he can go for that kill. He's got his blink up, he's got his ult up as well. If he sees one of these supports out of position, it's just free money.
Yeah.
Oh, and a regen on top of it.
Play God.
Nice.
Denied!
Well played.
Oh, where's Storm Spirit when you need him? Moving back into middle lane. Fader's already retreating out. Like, he knows it. Blink, Scream, Sting. He's low on life. If Denny throws the ulti out right now, it's probably not really going to be enough to get the kill, even with the sting damage.
Radiant's bottom tower,
Especially considering DK's also got the bottle available. And hello, more farm. Puppy now finishes the Hand of Midas. Kuro, this time around, maybe not going, do I dare say, a Hand of Midas. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. He probably will.
Something that I like, that NaVi has really identified the openings.
Miguel
in drafts.
jumps in. No, he hit the range creep. It's locked him away. The Chakram goes through one. The Centaur's getting some good stomps off, so Kuro really not looking healthy. He just pops off one last Nova, which tries to combine up with that wave, the Sonic Wave out from Dendy. And with Funny getting close, Chakram, he's just going to die right now in the middle lane. Kills off the Clockwork, but the Venomancer gets the revenge, while Dendy being chased down by Soshka. Blinks himself away once, but it's only a level 1 blink, so the cooldown's a really, really long time on that. But Soshka doesn't really know that, so he goes back to the middle lane instead.
Look at this early build coming out from Lifestealer, going immediately into the Phase and the Orb of Venom. This goes to show what they're planning to do with Lifestealer. I mean, you already saw the early rotation of him going top with the Clockwork. They really want to put into use this Infest very, very early on, and I think it's the right idea against NaVi. NaVi is seeing the opportunity since Chen has had a hard lane, and Dragonite and Lifestealer are still going to be a while before their max strength. NaVi is taking this opportunity and trying to push in some of these tier 1 towers and maybe even force a couple of team fights and try and get just a slight advantage before Sigma gets into their mid-game roles. So this again, NaVi is just kind of experts at being able to know when to force the right team fights and when to stay away. And both last game and this game are showing the complete opposite sides of a coin, right? First game, it was kind of avoiding some of the team fights. They picked the right ones where they were able to actually come out on top for the most part. And this time, a lot more aggression coming out for them because they know with their early start, and especially against this Sigma lineup, they can actually afford to force fights early.
Yeah. Man, they're looking good. They're looking good. Now rotation, they see Soshka already starting off with the Nova. The Gale is completely off target there from Pass. Luckily for him, he's got a level 2 Plague Wall, which is able to throw out that Poison Sting over towards the Timbersaw. While he still keeps hunting, wanting to come in deeper. Sharkham will clean off most of that tree line, but at the same time, like, even with the movement coming in from the Lifestealer, I'm not feeling a problem right for him. Like, the Rage is gone. He can Timber Chain again in 1 second time, and he's going to take himself through both. Oh, there's the Infest into the Centaur. Chains up. Matt's low on life, Whirling Death, 1 second. Chakram flies up again. He's able to keep himself just far. No, not anymore. Timber Chain down. He couldn't keep himself out of range forever. At the same time, Lifestealer was able to pick up Kuro as that Crystal Maiden. And the tier 1 tower. DK DD'd up, Dragon Form, bringing that tower down. While NaVi have to retreat, they did lose the Quap as well, who now respawns back. But they're trying to hunt bottom lane. Chakram going to fly, and Soshka has to rage. He needs the movement speed more than anything else. And Puppy, Troll Trap, he got it. Rages down, Havorst, Lucent Beam. He's still got Eclipse, and there's Timbersaw. Just chains through and Whirling Deaths up. The Centaurs are on their way down. Remember, Puppy can start stealing these away from the Chen as well. So Funning, Chakram cleans up the tree line again. That Chakram right on top of Matt as well as Pass, but he'll die with that. But there's a Sonic Wave from Dandy. If he blinks into a Scream right now, he's got the kill on Mad. Doesn't need to. Lucent Beam will do the job. So he blinks himself away to safety.
Oh, Miguel. He has it.
Look for the hook. And he got him. Dandy doesn't have Blink right now. Oh, no, he didn't lock him in the cogs. Stick charge got off from Dandy. And now he's going to bottle 2. Scream, Sting, blinks away again. He's still got this damn Sonic Wave. He can kill off Miguel right now if he wants to. And that should be an Enchantress creep. So if they can keep that Sting going, Blink to Scream and Miguel is dead. Blink, Scream, got him. Denny started flapping those wings. Kuro's in trouble. Soshka's chasing him down back inside the jungle, and Puppy, well, he's got a Troll Warlord, but he uses a Hand of Midas, in fact, on the big one, so he doesn't keep it. So all about the farm over the kill. Pass in the tree line. Couldn't hide forever from Funnick. So he'll die as well. And we leveled the scoreboard. 9 apiece for both NaVi as well as Sigma.
Yeah, that was another situation where Sigma, sometimes their greed really gets the best of them. That was a good example of where Paris, in the beginning of that team fight, in order to get away from the Timbersaw, he popped Rage. then turned around and opened wounds and tried to chase. And at that point in time, Rage, you've already dropped a couple of seconds, trying to get in those auto attacks on Timbersaw so you can get your health back. Because really, that's the only point. There's no way they're actually going to be able to kill Timbersaw. So in general, that was just a lot of greed, and that was what started a really bad team fight for them. But at least they're going to pick up a Vos in middle.
Yeah. Looks like he also used his, Eclipse on cooldown. There's nothing left in the kitty. Yeah, his Ogre Club didn't buy up anything else before that point. So, upside. Upside for Sigma. They still were committing 3 heroes to get that kill. And then you got Pass now moving up on the bottom lane. Throws down 1 observable, so at least they can watch Funnick. They can't do much more than that, though. You can already see him building into Blade Mount, too. And that's just going to make life so much harder for Sigma.
Yeah, it really is. This is, I think it's a smart idea. First of all, it's a really good item for Timbersaw in general, because it works really, really well with reactive armor. Generally, you have no armor in the beginning of the game, and those first couple of auto attacks coming out from these heroes do a lot of damage. So now you've got a decent amount of starting armor before reactive armor is able to kick in, and then on top of that, you actually get a little bit of mana, which is the biggest thing for Timbersaw, is his mana pool. So increasing that is also a big help. So now he's going to be able to stand up against a lot of these heroes, Clockwork, Viper, or excuse me, Venomancer. They're going to take a lot of damage from that armor. The sad thing is, if Miguel was in the same position, he would also be a really big threat. It just goes to show how winning that that safe lane for Funnick is going to put a lot of pressure on Sigma. If it had been the other way around, Clockwork could very easily kill a lot of these heroes solo, especially the Luna before you pick up BKB. Clockwork is extremely good against him, especially if he's able to pick up a Blade Mail.
Then he's now moved up towards this top lane. I got a feeling he's trying to just get someone to rotate up. Bring everyone in close, just push out the lane on the top when you got the catapult, and maybe just be a little bit more aggressive over towards Miguel. And while doing this, for Vos, we've got an Alpha Wolf coming in. So he now does 84 plus 64 damage up against Roshan. And with Puppey taking the attacks, untouchable, level 3.
Smart.
They never even lose one of these creeps. So obviously one of them timed out, so I guess they did lose one in the meantime. And Venomancer dies. The Rocket will scout out. Venomancer, in fact, threw out his ulti on this bottom lane. Soshka's going to come in, but the Timber Chain, he actually did it and then TPs at the same time. So back to base. Clockwork latched him. He's on a Vorst, but then Eclipse. Oh, a Vorst! He got bumped back onto the hill by the cogs. Fader can't get in because he's getting blocked up by Chen's creeps, in fact, and now a Voss, he can let that Eclipse completely fly up on top of this hill. The Sonic Wave will go for 3. Puppey will die inside the Rosh pit, and now a Voss, he's like, what are you doing here? He's going to TP himself down from here. Kuro throws the ulti out, try to make a little bit more space, but Fader and Soshka just move up, then he back inside the pit, but he gets hit by the Shadow Blast as well as the splash from the DK. Chakram is also still inside the pit, and a Voss, he'll die up on the top. Buyback comes out, but now it's DK. Snatches the Aegis of the Immortal. Roshan was, in fact, killed off by the Dire side, so the money goes over towards NaVi, but the Aegis of the Immortal, it goes into the clutches of Fader.
That was amazing play from Sigma. I mean, that was some amazing restraint. Who goes into a Rosh pit like that, interrupts Roshan, and is in a position like that? Heroes trapped, Havost on the hill, and backs out. They saw the CM coming, they had the right communication, backed out of the Roche pit, and then re-engaged and had a wonderful team fight because of it. That was just, that's amazing leadership from whoever's making those calls, and them all reacting like that. Beautifully played by Sigma. Unfortunately, Paz is going to get caught up by Dendy's Invis rune.
Yeah. Dendy's Invis rune probably wasn't enough to finish that, but with Timbersaw, with the amount of damage that he dishes out right now, that's enough to finish the job.
Yeah, especially if you're able to, like, really good Timber Saws. Funnick's doing a really good job at this. Being able to land Timber Chains and get the Whirling Death in the middle of the Timber Chain. Sometimes that timing is a little bit tricky to actually be able to get, but Funnick has landed every single one of them perfectly. So, you know, in the middle of a Timber Chain, when you're going past the hero, getting the Whirling Death off at the right time, he's gotten that every single time. So Funnick's playing really, really well this game. He's pretty much keeping NaVi decently well in the lead.
Yeah.
Like, you're not expecting to be too far ahead in Golden Experience right now, especially since you have that nice Luna hard carry who is in an aggressive tri-lane. Timbersaw is going to buy them enough time where Luna's going to get really, really big before Sigma can actually start threatening Raxes.
Speaking of being really big, man, like the net worth is actually quite close for everybody. Like, maximum is 6,000, which is over on Funnick, and then the nearest core is at 4.6k. So only having like 1.4k, 1.5k being the difference between them, that's quite negligible for an 18-minute game so far in. which means this can just change around. But Luna is currently sitting at the almost the very bottom of them. Clockwork's the one who's the closest to the bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
So with more
attack.
towers going down, I'm still waiting for Soshka to finish up this armlet. He's been walking around with this Helm of the Dominator for a little bit. Sorry, Helm of Iron Will for a little bit. And then Blades of Attack as well. He needs to get this done. He needs to get this finished. It's almost like the critical thing you need to have for the fight. While Dendi as well as Kuro wait in the wings, Puppey and Funnick are just trying to push the lane out. This is just now all-man push. Havorst will be able to farm up this middle lane and keep him out.
Radiant's
He's still a little bit off from
tower is
having the
under attack.
BKB, but there's TPs coming towards the top lane. Chakram from Funnick, and the Ursa. The Hellbear is actually going to get stolen right now. He needs to get this clap off the Enchantress, or will he? In fact, Fader, yep, there we come in. DK popping
Oh,
off.
beautiful!
Oh,
Miguel!
Puppey and Kuro lashed in by Miguel. Where did he even come from? Was that from the river?
Is under attack.
I think he, you know, he might have. I actually didn't see that. All of a sudden, I clicked over as the hook shot came in. 3 heroes locked in like that. 3 heroes stunned by a hook shot. Fantastic.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Havorst is in trouble. He's being chased down by Soshka. But while Soshka's got rage, Havorst can't really properly turn and fight that. But with that hook shot in, with those two big heroes going down, like if he did manage to get that straight up through the lane, I want to give him even more props. If he got it from the river, there was a pretty damn good hook.
Dire's top tower
But if he managed to go through that entire fight and latch those 2 heroes, yeah. Sorry you didn't see.
Oh, wow, look at Havorst. He went down to 4 health there due to Orb of Venom. Paris is actually going to teleport away as rotations come out. But yeah, all around, that was just good rotations by Sigma. And Paris pushing in bottom, putting pressure on Havorst, making sure that even if they are winning a team fight somewhere else, they're making sure that that carry is not picking up anything. Shutting down that BKB is a really important part for Sigma. It's going to allow DK to pretty much destroy Luna with that stun. If they can get that sort of initiation on a Luna, or from Clockwork or from the DK, they'll win pretty much every team fight. They just have to be able to make sure they don't get a good Eclipse off, or if they do, Luna dies in very short time.
And this movement right now from Kuro was really ballsy from him. To observe what's being planted down here on the bottom lane. Just shows you the preparation going into this. Danny's going to blink himself away, and then that's all they're waiting for. Danny's going to die here on the bottom lane. What made that so beautiful is Sigma's intention was so obvious they wanted to do that. Because Chen sent Miguel back to base. And he was there for a split second, full mana, full regen, full health points, and then TP straight to the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. So then he moves out.
Bottom tower is under attack.
It was almost like I don't want to say like a pocket move. Is that even possible? No. It was just well thought out and executed.
It was very well baited, forcing out the blink and then getting at that good Clockwork hook. Miguel is playing amazing, even though he got shut down pretty hard at top, more than I expected him to in the lane. Because of that early bottle coming out from Timbersaw, he was still, his mid-game operation has been beautiful, hitting wonderful shackle shots. He's now going to be able to pick up a BKB fairly soon. So this means if you're doing really well on Clockwork early on, Blade Mail's amazing. But he knows he's not going to be able to pick up the Blade Mail in time to really shut down the Luna before she picks up her BKB. So instead, he's going to focus on his own survivability and being able to stand up against the Luna inside of his own cogs when that Eclipse goes off.
Poor Miguel. I feel so sad for him right now because I know he's about to die. As long as Funnick moves over so we can see what's going on. No, wait, no, what? He TP'd into... they're waiting for Puppey. They're waiting for Puppey. This Chakram has got a... it connects a little bit, and then you got the extra movement speed. Oh, Timber Chain down. He uses that one tree on top of the tier 2 tower, and then a hook shot comes back.
Oh,
Puppey will now try and fight this. There's already a loser beam, and Funnick, you know he could just tank this up and chain himself away. Even with the Urn charge, fire up a rocket, you see Funnick moving, he just pops off the wand charges. Timber Chain's a little bit further up. And Sigma rotated a couple of heroes up here to try and fight up against that. Yeah, but it was because Miguel TP'd in, and then TP'd in after the tower was denied. So even then, his TP wasn't really 100% worth it apart from the experience. And if he ended up dying, then all of that's just for naught.
Yeah, that was a pretty ballsy move there by Miguel for a minimum amount of reward. Hitting that hook shot in the tier 2, especially when Timbersaw has maxed out reactive armor now, you're really not going to be able to do that much damage.
Passing Dandy. Dandy throws the ulti out. That Poison Sig was doing enough damage, and then he's still walking around with a DD rune. Blinks himself down towards the bottom tower. Another tower now going down as well.
Yeah, not only did he get that kill, but he forced Fada away from that tower and made sure that the deny didn't happen. So, really well played. Now he's about to pick up a BKB of his own. Mass BKBs coming out from NaVi. They're not too concerned about picking up any damage, even though they're going up against some big tanky heroes. They know they just need to be able to survive some of the team fights that are forced on them under tier 2s, because soon you're going to see Sigma going for heavy rotations, a lot of ganks, and a lot of pushing into tier 2s. It's getting about that time. Ooh, wow. That was a good line, right? You don't know exactly where the timber he ended up with the timber chain, so that was a pretty much on the mark for Miguel. Just timing was slightly off.
You just predict he's going to go for the furthest possible tree he can latch. And the prediction was right. But just now means that hookshot's going to be on cooldown for a little bit longer again. With that BKB, Miguel's feeling so confident anyway. Comes in and check Roshan, and Roshan, we get to see the timer, so 1 minute 45 before Roshan's going to spawn up. So mark it around roughly 26. Now middle lane. Now's the time for Funny to get some kills. He just picked up a fresh Bloodstone. He cannot die in this fight. Already the Crystal Maiden's gone down. Denny locked inside the cogs, but there's a Chakram flying around inside of it. Denny is really, really low, but now with Centaur Stomp's going too. Funny, get out of here! He's died! He's died! Commits suicide, so he's already going losing his charges. They'll lose a Vorst here as well. And Fader with a mega kill, with a double kill, in fact, coming out from this one. Is he getting himself another one? Poppy's pretty damn low. Clockwork, nice hook shot. With Denny blinking himself away, Miguel again gets the line perfect, and NaVi get completely team-wiped here by Sigma.
After they had their BKBs too. After NaVi got the 2 BKBs that are most important, Queen of Pain and Luna, they still were unable to get a really good team fight off there. And not even being able to pick up a single hero. Now they're going to lose probably tier 3, possibly even Rax. This could be GG right now. They could easily take this, take a Rax, and then after that, it's just sitting down in one lane and pushing it with the Dragonite, and that's going to be a very slow but easy
Funny's in
tier
trouble.
2.
Funny's in a lot of trouble. He's got no real trees to use. He has to go west. The Chakram's going to be pulled back in again. If he goes down, oh my lord. This is really troublesome. You're right, this could be a GG. For the fact they just lost Funnick, this game could be over almost right now. The only rotation is bottom lane, but in they come. Puppy walks almost into the middle of the team fight. Gets copped by Gale and ulti. Well, at least just ulti from the Venomancer. And they're backing up.
Range tracks.
Yeah, that'll be a good thing. No, they're just going to reinsert straight in. There's your Clockwork jump in. So a Vorst and Denny locked into position, and GG call comes out from Puppy. Yeah, he realizes just like the rest of the world. Kuro at least gets himself a nice ulti in style at the very, very last point there, but 27-12 is where we end game number 2. And Sigma, they end up leveling this up at 1 apiece here in this best of 5 up against NaVi.
I was feeling a little iffy, you know, about that 12-minute mark where NaVi was doing some good rotations and putting some pressure on tier 1s. It was because Sigma weren't at their full mid-game power and they wanted to be able to put a little bit of dent on that. But I think NaVi, maybe they just forced a little bit too many team fights after Sigma was ready for it. They just team fight after team fight where Sigma was always coming out on top because they had such a strong mid-game oriented team. And because of that, after they win the team fights, they take an excessive number of towers. That just begins to snowball against you so hard. Yeah, it just, NaVi making a couple of mistakes, but really good play by Sigma all around, especially Miguel recovering from what was a little bit of a rough lane for him, going up against the Timbersaw with the Queen of Pain rotation. He especially was a big standout for me.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they go in game number 3, because that's what's coming up next, so stay tuned, peoples. We'll see you back here for the live stream of the D2CL in just a moment.